Hey guys, what's up? Sneasel back again today with another top 10 list. Today we're going to talk about the best ice types in Pokemon Sword and Shield. They're not going to be in any particular order. But before we begin, let me remind you to smash that subscribe button. Not only does it help you see my content more often, but it helps the channel grow. Thanks guys! The Crown Tundra is out, and that means we're going to include some old names. Are you ready? Okay, let's begin. First up, we got Regice. Alright, let's start this list off with a Pokemon that nobody likes, Regice. Regice doesn't seem like it, but it can be a solid Trick Room attacker. Most people will just pick Glastrier over Regice, and for good reason. But Regice does have a couple of things going for it that Glastrier wishes it could have. One of these things is Clear Body. Clear Body allows it to not care about opposing Pokemon imposing stat drops on it. It's primarily a special attacker, so it doesn't care about Intimidate, but it's immune to that anyway. No stat drops, max moves, no parting shot, no snarl, no nothing. It's got a massive special defense stat and a usable defense stat with 100 in special attack, meaning it's a solid weakness policy abuser in either singles or doubles. Just like Glastrier. Glastrier gets neutered by Will-O-Wisp and Intimidate, but has a very snowbally ability, which we'll talk about when we talk about Glastrier. Regice can not only smash stuff in Trick Room, it can be a dependable utility Pokemon with stuff like Thunder Wave and Icy Wind too. Never underestimate Regice in Team Preview. Lapras. Lapras is dumb. There's a couple reasons why. It's not dumb because it sucks, no, far from it. It's dumb because it's so good. It's been subpar in every generation since Gen 1, but now, because of its Gigantamax form, it's incredible. It's really tanky, so it's a great candidate for a weakness policy abuser. Even more so because its signature G-Max move, G-Max Resonance. This move deals hefty ice-type damage and summons Aurora Veil, so you get screens for attacking, making you even tankier. Its poor defensive typing allows it to be a really good weakness policy abuser because so many Pokemon are going to try to hit it for super effective damage. It's even usable as a simple Life Orb attacker. I've even seen people use Light Clay on it, making its Aurora Veil last 8 turns instead of just 5, so that it's less of a Dynamax sweeper, but more of a Dynamax support Pokemon, which isn't a very common idea, but still good nonetheless. This thing can run substitute with Oko moves like Sheer Cold and Fissure. It's a great abuser of Perish Song too. The question is, what can't Lapras do? Sneasel and Weavile. If you know me, then you know that I don't like to stick more than one Pokemon in the same slot, but I had to with Sneasel and Weavile. If you're not into double battles, then you may not know why Sneasel makes the top 10, but it does, and here's why. Inner Focus with moves like Fake Out, Icy Wind, Snarl, and Ice Shard, it's always something to consider. Stick a Focus Sash on this bad boy and start taking control. Inner Focus relieves it from flinches and Intimidate drops, making sure it will most of the time get off crucial fake outs, Icy Winds, and Snarls. You can Ice Shard a weakness policy teammate like Weak Armor Mandibuzz, Unburdened Sceptile, or Dragapult. You can do a beat up strategy or be Risky Bisky and fling a Select to a teammate Pokemon that can abuse Justified like Terrakion, or something weak to Dark like Metagross. Thanks Wi-Fi Merriman for the silly ideas. Check out his channel. Weavile can do all these things too, but it doesn't get Inner Focus, so it will be Fake Out flinched. But it is naturally faster and hits harder and can be used as a funny weakness policy recipient. How? A Life Orb Dragapult using Infestation on its teammate Weavile with weakness policy and Pickpocket. Now Weavile has +2 attack and it stole the Life Orb from Dragapult. Now you sweep hard. Just watch out for those follow me users. Next up is Mammoth. Mammoth was a largely forgotten Pokemon during the first year of Sword and Shield, but now that the Crown Tundra released a ton of strong electric types like Regieleki and Tapu Koko, and the 4 times weak Pokemon like Garchomp and Landorus, it's only natural that Mammoth would drastically rise in usage, and it has. This thing counters and checks all these Pokemon very well. I'm currently running one in ranked singles with a weird EV spread but max attack and an assault vest. I'm running Oblivious instead of Thick Fat because it doesn't lose its precious attack stat when Incineroar and Landorus switch in. And then it proceeds to kill both of them. Sometimes I wish I had Thick Fat to reduce fire damage, but Oblivious has been more useful to me so far. But you can use what you want. Both these abilities are great for it. Alola Ninetales. Alola Ninetales is a weird one. It's got the speed stat of a good attacker, but not the offensive stats. Its attack is bad, and its special attack isn't very good either. And it's got subpar defenses. So why did it make the list? Because it's one of few Pokemon that can spam 100% accurate blizzards because of its snow warning ability. The other hail Pokemon suck, being a Bomb of Snow, Ice Cream Thing, what's it called, Vanillix, and Aurorus. Ninetales is the best of them all, in most cases. It gets access to Aurora Veil as well, which is effectively Light Screen and Reflect combined into one. But it needs to be hailing for this to work, so if your opponent switches some weather setter like Tyranitar in, then it won't work and you wasted your turn. Alola Ninetales is also part Fairy, so it's a good switch in for Dragon type attacks. You can risk it all with Hypnosis, but that's bad because its accuracy is so low that I consider it hacks when that move actually hits. You might as well just spam Oko moves at that point. All in all though, the only reason Alola Ninetales made this list is because it's the best at what it does, even if what it does isn't the most important. Cloister. Cloister has been and always will be the best shell smashing sweeper in the game. Why? Because it gets access to Skill Link, and it gets to abuse it hard. Skill Link is an ability that guarantees multi-hit moves like Icicle Spear always hit 5 times. This means it doesn't have to worry about Focus Ashes or Sturdy, Epic. Blastoise can technically do this too if you run its G-Max form and use the water move, but Cloister gets better coverage. It can also be ran special, but then you're missing out on Skill Link and you're probably just better off running Blastoise. Cloister also has sky high defense, so that it can take a hit or two while setting up its shell smashes. Galerion Darmanitan. This thing is absolutely nutty. Its ability, Guerrilla Tactics, essentially gives it a free choice band. It locks our Icy Monkey friend here into one move until it switches out, with the benefit of having the physical move boosted by 50%. Slap an additional choice band on it for even more ridiculously ludicrous power. Or be a little smarter and give it a choice scarf. Wow, now we have a super fast, super powerful monkey. This thing can find neutral KOs with ease and even Oko resist a Pokemon if they're frail enough. But does that mean that this thing is broken? Well, yeah, but only if you're bad at the game. If you don't know how to handle a Pokemon that's locked into a single move, then you're bad. And it's not an ideal Dynamax. When it goes big, it loses its Guerrilla Tactics ability, and thus loses the extra power from its moves. The only reason you'd want to max it is because you need to change moves. It does get another cool ability though, Zen Mode. When its health drops below half, it changes form and its stats shift around. Normally it has 140 base attack and 95 speed, but when it's in Zen Mode this changes to 160 attack and 135 speed. Now that sounds crazy. It's just a little harder to use in the brain dead click and move normal form, because you're going to need to play around with Substitute and actually use your brain a bit. It doesn't get the attack boost from Guerrilla Tactics, so although its attack stat is higher, it won't hit as hard. But it can change its moves and use stuff like Bulk Up. Did we talk about this thing's coverage? Believe it or not, the Ice Monkey gets Flare Blitz. What? Superpower, Rock Slide, Earthquake, U-Turn. Your choice of ice moves like Ice Punch or Icicle Crash. Long story short, Ice Monkey is a great Pokemon. Ice Cube. This stupid penguin gave me my first memorable loss of the current generation. Back when I didn't know exactly how Dynamax works, my opponent used a Belly Drum Ice Cube as I switched my Whimsicott in to Encore him. So I did Encore him, and so he just Dynamaxed it and KO'd me with Max Hailstorm. Ouch. Back then I thought for a second, If Dynamax can break through Encore, then it's broken and unbalanced. Good thing I'm a person of intellect though, because that thought disappeared after 2 seconds. But yeah, Ice Cube can belly drum and sweep. What allows it to do this somewhat reliably is its Ice Face ability. Ice Face is pretty much a free substitute. It allows it to take a hit before it takes any real damage from attacking moves. There is one drawback though. It only works on physical moves, so don't try setting up on no Rotom Heats or other super effective special attackers. Also, Mold Breaker, watch out for those Excadrill. Once your Ice Face is broken, your speed stat increases dramatically. Now it's sweeping time. Also, Hail Weather restores Ice Face. So, max Hailstorm something and now you can take another free physical attack. Just your speed will drop back down. Epic. Now you're just slow again. Anyways, that's Ice Cube. Glastrier. Glastrier? I don't know. Ice Horse. Ice Horse is too good, especially in doubles. In singles it has its struggles because Trick Room is bad for singles. In doubles though, Glastrier has pretty much become the most common attacker, especially in Trick Room teams. Some people might say it's broken, but there are ways around it such as Intimidate, Max Wormwind, Will-O-Wisp, so just learn to use those things and you may not think it's broken anymore. What makes it so good though is its lack of a speed stat, incredible defenses, and a really good attack stat, and its ability Chilling Neigh, which is pretty much just Moxie but renamed. Most people just stick a weakness policy on this bad boy and either bait you into hitting it with a super effective move that won't do that much because you're so bulky, or they self-proc with Brick Break Dusclops. Epic. Now you're at +2 attack, getting more attack boosts from KOing stuff with Chilling Neigh, and defense boosts with Steel Spike and Quake, and you're becoming an unkillable machine. It does rely heavily on Trick Room to work though, and as a physical attacker it is susceptible to aforementioned Intimidate and stuff, but no Pokemon is perfect. Glaily. There weren't a lot of good options for good ice types, but Glaily I think is the one most worth mentioning, and it's not even that good of a Pokemon. There are others like Abomasnow, which can be a funny Trick Room weakness policy abuser, and a couple other Pokemon, but Glaily and I have a little history together, so I decided to put it here. Like I said before, this list is in no particular order, so I'm not saying it's better than Glastrier. What makes Glaily somewhat good though is its Moody ability. So if you're a Smogon player, just pretend this is a top 9 list or something. If you see my Glaily moveset guide video, you'll know how funny it can be. So basically you grab a Moody Glaily, you teach it Protect, Substitute, Disable, and Freeze Dry. You sub up on something you think isn't a threat. Spam Protect and Substitute until you get some good stat boosts from Moody. Disable your opponent from using moves that threaten you, and Freeze Dry once you get some special attack boosts. Freeze Dry allows you to hit water type Pokemon super effectively so you're not walled by them, so that's why that's there instead of Ice Beam. You will 6-0 people by doing this, but sometimes Moody will give you bad stat boosts and debuffs your stats you need to get buffed, so it's not the most consistent, but works most of the time. To think, Smogon still has Moody banned. This is Glaily's only good ability, and Glaily is the only Pokemon this generation that even gets it. So they basically think that Glaily is an Uber. Okay then. That's a top 10 list, guys, but wait, there's more! We still have some honorable mentions, so let's talk about them. Avalugg. Avalugg is a physically defensive monster, and early on in the 8th generation, people were using it in doubles as a Trick Room attacker. Did run its own tempo ability with a Pokemon that has Swagger, doubling its attack without confusing it, and then Ultra Smash stuff. It's the original Glastrier. It's just got absolutely trash special defense, so some light screen support is a must, and of course a ground move for the max Quake. Abomasnow. I was originally gonna put Articuno here, but it doesn't really do anything worthy of mentioning. Abomasnow on the other hand can be a funny Trick Room surprise attacker. I've been experimenting with it on Showdown as a mixed weakness policy abuser. A quiet nature with 0 speed, with max special attack and physical attack with Blizzard, Giga Drain, Protect, and Earthquake is the way to go. Frostmoth. The way I see it, Frostmoth is nothing more than Volcarona Jr. It's way slower, and because of this has a much harder time setting at quiver dances. But it does have one thing that kind of relieves its bad speed. Its ability, Ice Scales. It buffs its special defense to sky high levels, making it much easier to set up quiver dances on Pokemon that use special attacks. It'll still need to get 2 or 3 in because it's so slow, but still. Alolan Sandslash / Rush. When Hail Weather is activated, Alolan Sandslash gets double speed and then wrecks all the things. Excuse me. I'm tired, I had a long day. It's got a respectable attack stat and acts as a Swords Dance too, making Alolan Sandslash even deadlier. The only drawback is that maintaining weather control isn't exactly easy, and it's 4 times weak to fighting and fire, making anything with a fire type move a great counter to it. So just max flare it, and bye bye / rush. That's it folks. What are your top 10 ice types? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!